What's up YouTube, I'm Mark from Wandering Souls. Welcome back to my channel. This is a response video to Mr Boudler. Mr Boudler has reached 1000 subscribers, so congratulations James. Very well deserved. I really love to watch your channel. I love your ranking videos, I love your collection updates, I love the variety in styles you always show, and yeah, it's really fantastic channel, so it's really well deserved. If you're not subscribed to Mr Boudler yet, I will leave a link in the description so you can look at his channel and give him a sub. He really does a phenomenal job. There's a contest going on. You can win 3 prize winners. There's a first, second and a third prize. There are some CDs you can win, let's put it that way. Yeah, really nice. For me though, I love doing thread responses, so I just want to react to this contest. If I win, woohoo! If I don't win, it's okay as well. Because like I said, I love doing thread response videos, and I seem to do a lot more last couple of years than in the beginning, but I love to be involved with the vinyl community, and y'all are fucking great. So what you have to do to win some CDs, give some shout outs and show 10 records which will you take with you in a desert island. Just took some records and some CDs. I could probably grab way more because this doesn't describe my whole taste yet, but I just picked 10. Before we do it, we're going into the shout outs. The first one, of course, is my buddy of Alex in Zwaardgevechten Records. He has a YouTube channel as well. He uploads all the bands he has. He's gonna release on his label, so he got real full releases or singles that are from the albums that are coming out on cassette or vinyl or whatever. Fantastic Dutch black metal label. If you're not familiar with him yet, I talked about him a lot on my channel, but if you're not, I will leave a link of course in the description to that YouTube channel. Great stuff if you like underground black metal from the Netherlands. Great place to go. Next up, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Bono of Good Music Promotions. Great channel. He and I are friends for a long time, since we both started YouTube. Probably just started a bit earlier, I think, but around the same time he got more exposure, and we supported a lot each other a lot in those days, and I kind of lacking on those a bit, so I thought let's give him a shout out because it's been a while, and he's a good buddy of mine, but also has great content, shows always great collection updates, and sometimes he does another video in between, but most of the time he does collection updates. And his music style, if you are familiar with mine, you probably will like his as well. He's kind of similar in a way. Here and there he has some different things, but also I have some different things, but overall we have a bit the same taste. So if you like my channel, you probably will like his as well, so go to Good Music Promotions. Then I want to give a shout out to Brian Arkham, YouTuber. Has also been a while on the YouTube thing, but he has only 200 something subscribers. I see a lot of people just starting and going to 1,000. Not that you don't deserve that, guys, but this guy has been busy for a while and only has 235, probably got that wrong, but 200 something. So let's give him a push to 300, so that will be fucking awesome if he reached that. Most of the time he does collection updates, unboxings, and live videos with other YouTubers, you know, live stream stuff. He does a really good job, has a great taste in music, and I just definitely want to give a shout out to Brian Arkham. So if you're not familiar with his channel yet, go sub him. And the last one I want to shout out to give is the Green Man. A dude that is not super long, only for a couple of years, I think 2 years, probably, maybe 3. Um, Mostly does ranking videos and album reviews and stuff like that. Great taste in music as well, but he doesn't have that much subscribers, also 200 something. So I want to give him a push to 300 as well. So if you like rankings and album reviews and stuff like that, he goes from rock to extreme metal, so he does go everywhere. Um, but he is a really nice dude, and definitely needs more subscribers. So go to the Green Man. So that are my subscribers. Let's get over to the desert island things. Like I said, I could pull out way more because this doesn't um, include my whole taste. Probably I will take 25 albums or 30 with me to live there forever, probably. But 10, yeah, we have to pick 10, so we do 10. I have some CDs and some records. Let's start off with the CDs. First one is pretty obvious. Morbid Angel Covenant. This is definitely my favorite Morbid Angel album. Fantastic album, good production, great songs on here. Rapture is on here. Blood on My Hands, God of Emptiness. You know, all great tunes are on this. Fantastic death metal album, definitely a classic, and definitely needs to be in your collection, in my opinion. Released in 1993, and is a phenomenal album. Released on Earache Records back in the day, and this is an old pressing as well. Fantastic stuff. Definitely recommend it. Covenant by Morbid Angel. Next up, my Dying Bride album, and it's not the one you would have expected. This is definitely a different one. But this is the album I have a really good bond with. Well, good. It has a lot of emotion to me for it, so this definitely could be used in sad times for me. This is The Light at the End of the World, and definitely a really sad album. A bit of comeback of the Death Doom sound after the experimental 34 point percentage, nog wat. You know, the experimental album from this, and they came back with this one, and this is a phenomenal album, guys. Great tracks of this: Seize the Dark, Eden Beast, The Light at the End of the World, The Fever Sea is great. My favorite on this is Sear Me Part 3. Yes, Part 3. This is definitely the track that got me most emotional on this album. There were some things in life for me that makes me really sad, and that is a comforting track. Really, really good stuff. Released in 1999 on Peaceville Records, and this is definitely a Death Doom classic. Not like I said, it's not Turn Loose the Swans or The Dark Angel and the River, Angel in the Dark River, but you know, it's a phenomenal album. Definitely worth checking out if you are not familiar with this. The Light at the End of the World. It's a hidden gem from their discography, and it definitely has some emotion on here. Also some aggression. There is definitely, like a song like The Fever Sea, it definitely has some that old school aggression what they had with the first couple of releases. It's definitely in that track, but it has lengthy tracks as well. 8 minutes, 11 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes. You know, it's really worth your buck. Fantastic album. Next up is my favorite Cradle of Filth album. This is Dusk and Her Embrace. Yeah, Cradle of Filth on their top. Cruelty in the Beast was also fantastic, I have to say. That's definitely the second one, but that one suffered a bit more with the production compared to this one, so that's why I also prefer this one. But the tracks on this are phenomenal. Heaven Torn Asunder, Funeral in Carpathia, Gothic Romance, Malice Through the Looking Glass, the title track. you know, fantastic tunes, and I really like that vampiric theme around it. Fantastic release. This is the way I want to hear them. Phenomenal album, released in 1996 on Music for Nations, and yeah, phenomenal, great stuff. And then my favorite Marduk album, this is Nightwing. Somebody may be surprised, but this is definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Great tunes on this one. It definitely has great story about the Vlad the Impaler. Definitely has 5 tracks surrounding that subject, all about his life. And Vlad the Impaler is of course Dracula, which is originally not a count but a prince from Wallachia, Transylvania, you know, that era. And he's always described as a vampire, but he actually wasn't. He was a blood, how do you say that? Shed a lot of blood because he killed a lot of Turks, for example. But that's why he's called the Vlad the Impaler. He has some cruelty, but he definitely has his dedication to his country, let's put it that way. And there's a whole 5 tracks around it. Then we get the start of, let's put it right, that's the second part of the album. Then we have the title track before that. It's a fantastic track. Nightwing is definitely my favorite track on the album. Lengthy, fast, great riffing track, great track. And in the front there's some blasphemous tracks, you know, the infernal black metal that they always do. Yeah, really good stuff. Slay the Nazarenes of Hell's Fire is on here. Draco Weda, Kaziklu Bay, Demi Quadin Terrane, you know, fantastic tunes on this one. And like I said, Nightwing is definitely my favorite track on this. It's an album that seems to overlook a lot. Everybody's talking about Panzer Division Marduk, or Dark Endless, or Heaven Shall Burn, which also is probably my second favorite. But this is definitely my favorite album. Fantastic tunes on this one. Nightwing, great tunes. And we don't go to Desert Island without Iron Maiden, of course. I chose my favorite live album, Live After Death. This is one of the albums that hooked me onto this band. Fantastic live feeling of this album. It's a phenomenal release. Set list is great, live feeling is great, the audience can be heard. It's definitely reminds me on a great concert, and Iron Maiden did give a lot of great concerts, and that's why I take this one and not, for example, my favorite album, Number of the Beast or Seventh Son. Or I want to have some live experience, memories, and this definitely gives that. So that's why I picked this one. Then we go a bit Dutch. Pestilence, Testimony of the Asians. I could also pick their second album, but that's Consuming Impulse. But it's probably the album that everybody picks if they get a chance, or if you're more the experimental, don't need to spheres. But this one seems to fall behind those two. But this is a phenomenal album as well. Don't get me wrong, this is definitely one of my favorites. I love Consuming Impulse as well, don't get me wrong. But this has great tracks: Secrecies of Horror, Twisted Truth, Lost Souls, Land of Tears, you know, all fantastic tunes. Testimony, The Presence of the Dead, you know, great tunes. And the 3-piece Marco Fadis, Patrick Utterweg and Patrick Mameli. And the bass work is done by Tony Joy of Cynic, and it's credited in the last picture here, but he's not on the back because essentially he was a session member. So, but fantastic album, definitely worth having in your collection, and it definitely has some great memories for me as well. Great album. Of course, Napalm Death, also one of my favorite bands. Couldn't leave behind some Napalm Death here. Fantastic bands. This is one of my favorite albums. This is definitely the grind era with the old lineup: Lee Dorian, Bill Steer, Mick Harris, and Shane Embury. Second album from the band, released in 1988, I think. Yes, 88. Straight to the point, fast, grinding material. This is definitely a classic in the discography. This has to be in there. So there it is. And the last CD I want to show guys is from Draconian, and this is Sovran. Definitely one of my favorite gothic death doom bands from Sweden. This is the first album they did with Heike Langhans from South Africa on female vocals, and she really delivered on this one. It's so emotional, has a lot of melancholy, and if you know Draconian, how they write their leads, their build up of the songs, it definitely felt well put together. It's definitely a groundbreaking album for me. Don't get me wrong, I like their albums prior to this with Lisa Johansson on vocals, but Heike did really good, and she really scored great in my opinion with this album. They did another album after this with her on vocals, it's phenomenal as well. But if I had to pick a favorite from the two, or older Draconian albums, in my opinion, this is my favorite. Kind of surprising because there are a great Arcane Rain Fell is also a really fantastic album. I really love that one as well, but this also, Heike's vocals are phenomenal. Definitely great vocals. So Sovran by Draconian. And let's get over to the vinyl. Only a couple, not of many as James did in his video, but core favorites picking, there were more CDs than vinyl. I could pick the CD version of these records as well to get it all CD, but I thought let's show some vinyl as well. Scream Bloody Gore by Death. You can't go to a desert island without some old school death metal, and this one definitely delivers. Yeah, what can I say? Released in 1987, this is a classic and ahead of its time back in the day. It's so good. Infernal Death, Zombie Ritual, Mutilation is fantastic, Baptized in Blood, Evil Dead, Scream Bloody Gore, you know, can't go wrong. It's a great album, so that's why I picked this one. Death also doesn't have a bad album. I could also pick Symbolic, which is also one of my favorites, but yeah, I don't have that on vinyl. Could put the CD, of course, like I said, I could put all CDs if I wanted to. And the last one, Deicide, self-titled. Can't go wrong with this one. Phenomenal album. Great tunes on this. Lunatics of God Creation, Sacrifice, Special Suicide, Dead by Dawn, of course, Deicide, Crucifixion, and a lot of great tunes on this. And this is a first press as well, so it's fantastic. Great album, self-titled by Deicide. So that are my picks. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, guys. Also James I hope you kind of like my picks here. Thank you all for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate it. Go give James his support and give him some more subs. Push him forward to 1100, for example. That would be fantastic. If you like this thread or contest, hop on as well. So those videos are always fun to do and gives you a really nice dive into your collection. And thought, hey, I have this album, this album, this album, this album. Like I said, I could easily pick 20 more, but I decided to stick to those. So hop on, guys. It's really, I think James will really appreciate it, and give him the support. If you like this video and my content, consider subscribing as well. I also would appreciate that. Like I said, a lot of videos. The more people watch, the more people discover new music, and that's what it's all about in this vinyl community. Probably share your music, your ideas, your thoughts, and discover a lot of new tunes. And yeah, that's why I watch a lot of YouTubers as well. Genre variation is there a lot? Yes, I like that a bit. Of course, I'm a street metal guy, but I also like to listen to rock or other genres. So sometimes those videos has also other genres than extreme metal. Yeah, I like variety. That's how it works. And James has a lot of variety on his channel as well, and that's why I like to watch and see what he's got. I also like his ranking videos a lot, and great channel. So go sub to James and let me know what you think, guys, and say hi from me to on his channel. Would be cool if I see someone, hey, Mark sent me here and I like your channel, so I subbed. That would be fantastic. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and see you guys next video. Take care.